Godly afternoon to everybody, man. This your boy Mark McCline, spiritual advisor from the Link Up. I know it's been a long time, man. Too long for real. But there's been so much going on in personal life. I had to really fall back and look at some things because it been, to me, it been serious damage in my own personal life about things. You know what I'm saying? So I've been dealing with God about, the relationships and life that we create. And, I was trying to figure out, from everything that I be teaching, everything that God bring to me. Sometimes I be wondering why certain things happen to me when I'm like, God, I'm doing your work. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't understand what's this misfortune, what's this damage, what's this hardship, what's this heartache. Like, why is this stuff still coming to me when, you know, I'm doing exactly what you want me to do, what you require me to do, what you asking me to do. I'm demonstrating the attributes of God. I'm letting the God within me guide me to the best of my ability, and things go wrong. I get to wondering like, why? You know what I'm saying? And then, I remember scriptures say, that we would suffer just as Jesus suffered for following him, and that those that serve the Lord, would meet hardship, heartache, hard time. I mean, I get the scripture of all that. The closer you are to God, the more the devil gonna try to tempt you to do wrong and, lead you astray. I mean, I get all that, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't really a matter of whining about something. Yeah, until I could figure it out in my head and how to talk to y'all about it and bring it to y'all. Because I know y'all feel the same way sometimes. I know sometimes y'all get, your life get to going right and you doing everything that you can to be a godly person, a good person, trying to make all the right decisions, the best decisions out of the circumstances that you dealt with. And then when things don't add up right or things go astray or, it seems like more put on to you and this, that, than what you can handle too. Because oftentimes it feel like more than what we can handle. Yet when in hindsight you look at it and be like, for whatever reason and however, I was able to handle it. I got through it, and that's the grace of God. So that's when you give praise to God, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? I believe that at some juncture, a time we all look forward to, I guess, like a reward from God for doing good. Just a pat on the back, a stroke to let you know that you doing the right thing and, you know, the encouragement to keep going the way you going rather than the misfortune that, we as the believers to strengthen us in our faith and keep us firm in where we going. Like, if I could meet all this misfortune, sometimes you sit back and think, well, when the blessings gonna come for this? Like, I understand all the tests. I understand going through hardship. I understand going through difficulties. I understand going through maybe broken relationships, divorces, or parental issues with your children, spouse issue, partnership issue, brotherly issues, sisterly issues. Like, I understand going through all them issues. However, when do I get to enjoy the grace for some of the work that I put in also? And I think a lot of people question God in that aspect. When you doing all that you supposed to do and you doing the best that you supposed to do and you looking for a form of relief, maybe even a form of a blessing that in your opinion is gonna help you be stronger, help you get further ahead, help you do better. And I know I'm always one of the ones that say that, the more I have, the more I'm able to do. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in that. Like, if I was one of the rich people of the world, I think I'd be helping a lot more people. So I'm like, sometimes I'd be like, why you don't bless me with that type of abundance so I could be the example of what somebody with that kind of money is supposed to do and this, that, and the other. I look forward to that. I look forward to, building that legacy for myself because I deem myself worthy of it. You know what I'm saying? But that's my understanding. That's my thinking. You know what I'm saying? And I don't confuse my thinking or my understanding with God's thinking or understanding. But I do question that. You know what I'm saying? And I trust that many of you do because in my conversation with many of us is what led me to get on here and talk about this particular thing today. Is like, you know, what do you do when you're not feeling worthy of God? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know you doing what you doing, and you asking for his grace or his blessings to be on you to kind of solidify and confirm that you going the right way, that you doing the right things, and to get that encouragement to keep doing what you doing. And a lot of times, a lot of us feel like God ain't giving it to us. He ain't blessing us, so to speak. And as much as I'm human and saying like I can understand y'all spiritually, I have to remind you that your blessings come in all sorts of ways and favors. You know what I'm saying? Flavors. So, you're waking up and being able to make of your day what you choose to make it is a blessing. The friendship or the relationship that you have with somebody else that you can just pick up a phone and call them and y'all can discuss whatever and this whatever and build on whatever, that's a blessing too. If you got health, your children healthy, your spouse healthy, everything that you love pretty much, y'all maintaining, sustaining, and y'all getting through. I can't tell you when you've gotten through. I can't tell you what the reward is when you get through, but I do believe and trust in God enough to say that it's all going to make sense in the end. It ain't got to make sense in our time, and it ain't got to make sense on our time schedule. It ain't got to make sense when we want it to make sense. However, we do have to remain faithful and diligent in our service. You know what I'm saying? We still have to be who we have to be. Like, I don't serve God for the rewards, to be for real. I don't serve him for the rewards. I serve him for the integrity of my character, the example to my children, those around me. I just try to be the best person that I can be for them and myself. You know what I'm saying? And whatever God gonna give me, you gonna give me. Whatever you don't give me, you not gonna give me. You know what I'm saying? Every day I have to make sure that I put myself in a position to make life work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter what it is, but as long as I'm paying my bills, my children ain't going hungry, they got clothes and shoes on their feet, and this, that, and the other, I really ain't got no problem, and that's a blessing within itself. I might not have what I want. I may not be capable of doing what I want to do. I may not feel that I got all that I should have, or none of that, but I'm not going to neglect my present concern to show you how I will behave when greater. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just deny all my blessings today. I'm not going to minimize them blessings, because a blessing is a blessing. And I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself at the same time, because like I say, I do get discouraged. I am human. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get perplexed about what it is that I'm doing. Y'all gonna have to pause. I gotta come back. So, like I'm saying, okay, I'm human. I try to keep it. My biggest thing on this, even as a spiritual advisor, sometimes my language be different from other people, this, that, and other. I might use what they call a profane word here and there. Things different, you know what I'm saying? But I be trying to relate to people to whatever level they on, you know what I'm saying? Because if I can't reach you, then I can't teach you. So, and everybody that I talk to, some of the younger ones, they got a whole different other language, you know what I'm saying, than what we would call a mature language or this, that, and other. So, I got some of the elders that'll be around me and be like, I heard you talking like this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, bro, I'm talking to people where I can reach them. You know what I'm saying? If I got to use certain words to reach you and bring you up to a higher level where we can start really conversing like mature adults and this, that, and the other, and that's not to say that if you use profanity that I deem you immature. I do deem that it's a better vocabulary that we can use. It's a more intellectual, vocabulary that we can utilize to communicate. However, I'm down with whatever. I'm down with whatever. Whoever I bump into, I'm going to meet you on your level. I'm never going to try to just talk to somebody and be like, oh, I don't talk like this, I don't talk like that. My job is to reach and teach. And in order for me, and my practice in life, my example in life, my experience in life is that in order for me to be able to teach anybody, I got to be able to reach them. If I can't reach you, then I can't teach you. You know what I'm saying? So if it's the younger brothers running around here with nigga this, nigga that, and I'll be like, man, what y'all niggas doing with y'all life? Immediately that's going to grabs their attention like, dang, old school talking like he knows, they going to feel comfortable. So I do engage like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that brings me to the point of like when you talking about how we want our blessings. So now I'm looking at it like, how do God reach me to teach me? And when I think about it, I'm like, well, I don't live for riches. And I don't live for that. I don't live for that. I do have the idea that if I had this, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. But what I live for is my children, my family. You know what I'm saying? My character, the integrity. I live for principles. And when I look at that from the blessing standpoint, if that's what I'm really about, then I look at, in order for him to teach me, he has to teach me with where I am. And where I am, he blessing me. I've never been one to really chase wealth. So what I'm saying is this, is that, okay, you could be asking for the blessing of greater finance, right? But that really ain't your life. You really just asking for that to maybe make things easier for you, take some burdens off of you, to allow you to enjoy life more, this, that, and other. But then when you sit back and really look at yourself and be like, well, how am I really communicating with God? What do I show God that's valuable to me? Because whatever you hold valuable is where your increase is going to come and where your blessings going to come from. Meaning that God going to reach you the way that you put yourself out there. So when he reach you that way, he's going to bless you in what you really foundated in. I'm foundated in family, so you're going to bless me in a family sense. And that don't necessarily mean financial benefits. That just means me and the family is going to be blessed to help one another. And I had to sit back and think about, like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this what I live for my children healthy, they doing good in school, they got good relationships amongst each other, they respectable, this, that, and other. So now I'm seeing where my blessings is really going to the very thing that I value the most. You know what I'm saying? When I get to thinking about the blessings of financial blessings, it's only because of what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to help more people. I want to do things for more people. I would love to build something with my name, my family name on it, that say that, the McClines, we care. We examples of humanity. We examples of what good people should be, righteous people should be, God-fearing people should be. I would like to resurrect them monuments and have that kind of legacy, but that's just a craving of a desire. But the thing that is necessarily important to me, that's not really important to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's something that I want, but it's not really important to me. So God blessed me to the things that's important to me. I had to take a real look at that, and I'm advise you to take a look at that and figure out what's really important to you. And then look at how God is working with you, how he reaching and teaching you in that aspect. Because then you might be able to get that encouragement that you're looking for. You might be able to find that greater faith that you're looking for. You might be able to see the hand of God working in your life a lot more when you look at it, that God is really blessing you in the very things that you hold to be paramount in your life, the things that are important to your life, the people that are important to your life, the things that's significant to you. These are things that God is governing and taking care of for us, and keeping whole around us. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say, I wish I was rich so I wouldn't have these worries or this, that, other, to try to escape some of the responsibilities. Now, you can have that, but at the same time, you maintaining your responsibilities. Do you know life could be better for you? Yeah, life could be better for you. It could be easier for you in some sense. Some people say the more money you have, the more problems you have. So I don't know necessarily. I don't believe in that because I didn't have money and I didn't have them problems. It just allowed me to do more for my family, extend more to my family. So I don't look at money as a defining factor of what I'm going to be with money or who I'm going to be, or I'm going to change it to this person, that person. I think whoever you are, the money is going to just exploit you for that. If you're a charitable person, you're going to be a charitable person. If you're a mean-spirited person, when you get money, you're going to use that to exploit your mean-spirited side. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying now is that the things that we think that we want, or the things that we think God should be giving us, rethink what's really important to you and look and see how God is taking care of that. You know what I'm saying? So as a parent, I'm like, my children is up first, most important to me. And when I look at them, I'm blessed. Now, when I look at them in my bank account, I don't feel good as much about my bank account. But when I look at my children, I'm blessed. But I don't worry about my bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't what I want it to be, but I'm still sustaining. I'm still maintaining. I'm still getting through. And I'm probably, you know how they say, when you think you're in a bad position, look at some other people and see that it could be worse. When you think you're in your worst, there's somebody doing worse than you. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at it from that aspect, I'm like, I'm blessed. I got 3, 4 cars. I ain't worried about this. I got a nice, stable home life, and been businessman and still a businessman. Like, technically, what's important to me, God has blessed me to take care of. So technically, my blessings are right. And I am now seeing God in a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying? Like, even as the spiritual, right, I'm still growing too. God's still teaching me, and that's one of the things he just taught me is, you look into the things that you want and you measuring me according to the things you want. But you're not measuring me according to the things that's important to you, that's significant to you, the things that I'm actually helping you sustain and maintain and keep together. Them things that's important to you, I'm there. And now that I'm looking at them things like, wow, I see God, you is there. The things that I love, you is taking care of, regardless of how it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I done met some bad situations in the last, say, month or so. You know what I'm saying? And I done suffered something that I thought that I would deem greater than death. You know what I'm saying? I lost someone to me that I would have never thought that I would have lost. And I'm not even going to say it's a loss. It definitely is a temporary strain between us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rationalizing with that, and I'm making sure that I'm making right decisions with that. I think at this point, I made right decisions because I do believe that people need to be held accountable. Despite how you feel about them, how much love you got for them, this, that, and the other, I believe people need to be held accountable according to their behavior, especially within my family structure, because it's a character to our family, it's an integrity to our family. And certain lines you just can't cross. And if it's me, them, whoever, I expect all of us to hold each other accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? If necessary, the family get together and figure it out. If you feel it's unjust and unfair, then the family come together and figure it out. Because I'm one of the ones that once I love. But I didn't learn to love people from a distance also because it don't work up close and personal no more or something to that nature. You know what I'm saying? Or you created this violation between that we can't just sit up and, sit at the same table and have the Last Supper together. It's no longer meant for us to eat together and this, that, and other. And that's cool too. But I got enough love for you. I still want you to do good in life. I still wish the best for you. It's just that we came to a point that we can never walk this road together no more. That happened like marriages. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a marriage will grow apart. And instead of you going into the hardship of it and y'all trying to destroy one another or this, that, and the other, sometimes you just need to be grown and be like, you know what? This ain't working. This ain't what I want. Let's be fair about this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of letting courts and all these people that don't even care about y'all, instead of letting them come into your world and decide what's going to be what, this, that, and other. I believe a husband and wife that no longer desires to be together should be mature enough to come together and depart with fairness, with justice, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't did nothing per se, like you ain't beating on this person or you ain't, doing no gross violations that physically harmed it. Y'all just came across. Maybe he did something that you just can't accept, and she did something that she can't. You can't accept, and you just like, that ain't what I want. I'm not gonna live with that. But I'm not gonna deem you a bad person behind that. I'm not trying to ruin you behind that. I'm just saying that did it for me. So I would look at in my marriage. If I'm married to a person and we get to that point, I loved you. I loved you enough to marry you. I don't want to become your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't agree with it, you don't agree with it, but if one of us is not happy, I can't agree to nothing but allowing you to go be happy. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever decide that happy is not with me, despite my hurt, maybe my disagreement or anything, I'm going to be like, I still want the best for you. I got love for you. I can't just cut that off and become your evil enemy. I don't see doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, once I love. The most we can do in love is create distance. between each other. It can never be no ill intent on my end. It can never be no, I wish he was dead or this or she was dead or I can't stand. No, I'm not gonna do that. That would be like a total betrayal to the years of y'all union, y'all friendship, y'all tie. Like, I'm not going to destroy who you are because of this incident or whatever the incident may be. I'm not going to take away from that. I'm not going to love you for 10 years and let one incident destroy that history. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to uphold that history with respect. And like I say, the worst case scenario is there's distance. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how God work with us. Like, he'll talk to you. He communicate with you. He telling you what to do, how to do it. If you defiant, disobedient, and you go about your way, okay, you like the prodigal son. Go about your way, but when you ready, come home. So in some degree, I'm like, God accept that distance and allowing you to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you find your way back to him, all praises be to God. If you don't, you have free will. And God is going to let you exercise that free will. At the end of the day, do he want you to come home to him? Naturally. That's God. He want to save all of us. He want all of us to reconcile our relationship with him. Yet if you don't, he's not going to stop loving you. He's not going to stop helping you. He's not going to stop answering your prayers. He's not going to stop being there for you. None of that, because he don't want to see you ruined. That's not the job. You know what I'm saying? You going out to figure you out. And that's okay. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to go out there and bump our head to figure out what it is we need to do and have to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens. So I'm not offended at none of that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm telling you is, don't mistake God for being absent in your life because you don't see him working the way that you want him to work. Yet, look at where you need him to work. And where you need him to work, look for the hand of God. You need him to keep your children safe, to keep your family together, to keep your marriage intact, to keep your friendships intact. You need him in them categories. We want him in ways that is just desirable. You know what I'm saying? But don't miss his presence in your life because you're looking for what you want and not what you need. You know what I'm saying? It's like the old footprint thing, bookmarker, that used to be saying, like, guy taking a journey through the desert, this, that, and the other. Is he in the worst case scenario, everything falling apart, blah, blah, blah. And he talking to God like, when I needed you the most, you wasn't with me. When I looked in the sand, all I seen was one set of footprints, like you left me alone. And God like, no, that one set of footprints, them was mine because I was carrying you. But you took it as if they was your footprints. So I would tell you, I'm telling you now, like I tell anybody with that same storyline, is that if you only see one set of footprints in your sand, believe me, it's God's, not yours. Because God would never abandon you or forsake you. Therefore, if you don't see 4 set of footprints, God carrying you. If you only see 2, it's because God carrying you. If you see 4, then that means you doing and going where you need to be going, and God is right beside you. He right there with you. So you should always look for 4 sets of footprints inside your sand, in whatever direction you're going in life. That's the only evidence that you know that God is going to be walking with you. And if he ain't walking with you, he carrying you. Amen. That's the beauty of all this. That's the whole beauty of it. Like, we just look at things differently, and we need to start looking at things realistically. We need to start looking at things honestly. We need to start looking at things truthfully, and we need to be accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it took me a minute because sometimes I felt like, I should have hit the Mega Millions, the Powerball, so I can go out here and show y'all all this love that God got, this, that, and other. I thought like that for a while. Like, I would love to do that, and I would love to do this and build this for the homeless and help people with their dreams over here and build it and just helping people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to take care of my family and put us in nice places and more secure places that reflect our growth and our development. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have done that too, and I would have got us nicer cars. I ain't going to hold you up. I would have did that too. But at the end of the day, it was all about enriching life. That's just something I want to do. That's part of my leadership. I want to be that leader of a wealth that says that, my works is so good. Look at my abundance. But then I'm like, that really ain't proven it all. That ain't really the proof because that ain't where my life at. My life is here. So now I'm like, When you want to look at me, look at my children. You know, which I just set up with my mother. We was talking and she was like, you know, some people say you ain't changed. I was like, they ain't got to say I changed. But look at my children. When you look at the things around me that really matter to me, that's important, God done blessed me in ways, you don't have to believe in my change. The fruits of my labor is the faith of my change. That's the faith of my change. I ain't got to talk no more. You can see it. I can show you this. And like I tell everybody, when you work for God, you should be able to see the fruits of your labor. Anytime you can't see the fruits of the labor of God working in somebody, then God, it might not be God's work. Because God's work has to produce fruits. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to produce rotten apples when we working for God. So I always tell everybody, and I told y'all plenty of times in y'all sermons when y'all listening to these pastors, bishops, and ministers and whatever, spiritual advice, whatever, look at the fruits of their work. Look at the fruits of their labor. See what they producing. And if they not producing nothing, then you might want to turn from them. If they producing negative, you definitely need to turn from them. You know what I'm saying? And if all they producing is finance, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. If God wanted the world to be rich, we would all be rich. But that's man's pursuit. That's not God's pursuit. God wants us to be healthy. God more concerned about our spiritual self, but he answered our physical needs. He gave us everything on earth it takes for us to take care of ourselves. We chose to be greedy and become, you know, wanting things in greater abundance than the next man and the next woman or this, that, and other. That's man. Man want to do that. Man want to be ruler of the land. Man want to be all that. God, like I already told you, was Lord of the things made manifest. I already told you was a deity made flesh. I can't give you nothing greater than that. You got to learn how to execute them powers within yourself, and you'll see the fruits of your labor. You'll see abundance. I done put all that in your power to do. And that's all some people chase. They get lost. Some people call it their ego. You know, ego is the acronym for easing God out. You know, man gets so caught up that you forget about God and you start worrying about only yourself. And when we talking about our wants of greater financial blessings, this, that, and other, we probably thinking more about ourselves than we are about God. So them prayers not really being answered to you. But when I say, when you go back and be like, do I got food in my refrigerator? Is my bills paid? Even if I'm behind a month or two, they ain't shut off. I'm maintaining it. I'm getting it done. Do my children got clothes on their back? I got clothes on my back. I got shoes on my feet. I got a stable job. All these things are blessings. That means you getting through. That don't mean this the defining factor of you. That just means you getting through. Them your means of getting through. The greater part that you want about this, you empower to manifest that. You don't have to stay as the employee. You can become your own boss. You can save money and create your own business. You can become whatever you want to be. You can become as great as you want to be. That power is in your hands. But what I'm telling you is the things that you most care about is where God is at. That's where you're going to find the hand of God at. So let's stop confusing ourselves with what we want and what we need. Because what we need, God going to govern. What we want, that's our own governing. We got to do that. You know what I'm saying? God ain't going to just turn around and just tell you, oh, I'm going to let you hit the Mega Million and the Powerball. If he do that, it's because you got a purpose. And you need that wealth to create that purpose. I ain't saying that he won't do it. And I'm not saying that he can't do it. Definitely not saying that. I'm just saying, don't hold your measurement to that about God. Don't hold that standard on God to try to say if he's not doing this or if he don't do this, then maybe he not hearing me. Maybe he don't love me. Or maybe I ain't doing good enough. Or this, that, and other. Maybe you just looking at it wrong. Maybe you just looking at it wrong because God will not forsake or abandon us. So if you get to thinking like that, like I have been, you got to sit back and you analyze your relationship with God and you find the hand of God where you need him. Just like a good friend, a good spouse, whatever. People may not never see him. They might, you got some spouses that be in their own world, but they still together. But once you need them, then they come through shine like a shining armor. You know what I'm saying? And they ready to take care of whatever it is. They always step up to the plate when you need them. That's God. God always step up to the plate where we need them at. Don't confuse our needs with our wants. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm saying. Let's hold ourselves accountable with that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when we get to try to blame God for things, you only just wrecking your relationship with God because nobody want to be falsely accused. And I think God is a great example of being falsely accused by a lot of people because he's not doing what we want him to do. And we need to get away from that. We need to stop falsely accusing God and take more accountability for ourselves. We need to acknowledge what we do as men, as women, in the direction of our life and the way that it's going. We have to hold ourselves accountable to the things that we do. We got to hold ourselves accountable to the space that we occupy. Whatever is going on in your world, you need to find out what you did to get you there. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in your life to get you there? Because I look at it like that. Just like I told you with the same example of, suffering a loss greater than death. I think a living loss is greater than a death because death, yeah, you could be hurt for a while, but you end up getting over that. You accept that somebody that moved on. But when you got a living suffering or a living death, so to speak, experience, they living and you living, then it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That to me is even harder. It's harder to not exist with somebody that you love for whatever reason than somebody that didn't pass. You know what I'm saying? So, and even in that situation, you got to come back through self-examination and find out too, why is this happening in your life? And what role did you play in this? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you overlooked some things. Maybe you didn't confront some things. Maybe you just didn't, step up to the plate before these errors was made or this, that, and other. Who knows? And maybe you just had no role in it. And it was just meant to happen to show you what's around you. You know what I'm saying? And you can use that information, that example, to tighten up your circle, or you can, eliminate things from your circle because it's a threat to your circle. Whatever you decide that incident to be is what it would be. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely gotta start looking at things from a state of accountability. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't been on here, because I've been searching for my own accountability. I've been searching for the things that's going on in my life and what role I play in them. And whether it's the things that I like or the things that I don't like. Pretty much I focus on the things that I like and I pay attention to the things that I don't like. And I never credit myself as blaming other people for where I'm at when things go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just suffered another incident. And yeah, I was upset about it. I was, displeased about it. But when it came about it, it wasn't about the incident. It was about the individuals that was involved in it and had a lack of accountability, the lack of apology came, and the friendship and the brotherhood of it. It was like, you didn't come and claim responsibility, but you came and was like, I'm going to take care of it. Ain't no big deal, this, that, and other. And I'm like, that's cool too, but the personal aspect of it was missing. You know what I'm saying? You never came with an apology. You never came with true accountability. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of ran over me with, don't worry about it, whatever it costs to get this fixed, I'm going to take care of it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. However, what about the betrayal between me and you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I trusted you with something and you didn't take care of it, because when you trust me with something, I'm trying to take care of it like you would take care of it. And you obviously didn't take care of what I trusted you with, like I would take care of what you would give me. So now I'm like, do you hold me to the same status and value that I hold you? Is this a reciprocating relationship? You know what I'm saying? And it took a minute for us to get here. But now that we here, I want to look at it from the mature aspect. And I'm hoping that they would look at it from the mature aspect. Even when you see this and you say, oh, that's how he thinking, yeah, I'm thinking like this. And I want you to think like this and be like, just don't accept the responsibility of it, but the emotional part of it too, between us as brothers and friends. Like, how did I disappoint you in that factor? And how do I hold myself accountable for that? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of been eliminated because the issue was just resolved with, I'll take care of it. And I'm like, that ain't resolving it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I held you to a higher status. You disappointed that status. You didn't live up to that status. And I want to hear you address that. Why didn't you live up to that status? Why didn't you value what I trusted you with? Like I value it. All these things like this how I build with God. Like this things that God tell me like to be godly. You have to deal with things from accountability. You got to deal with things from being responsible. You have to deal with things from a non-emotional standpoint sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And just intelligence should drive you to do certain things that you need to do for the people that you say you love, you care about, this, that, and the other. Like, you can't just always just say, let's get over it, sweep it under the rug. Some things you can't sweep under the rug. Some things you can't ignore. Some things just got to be brutal. Sometimes you got to be brutally honest. Sometimes you got to sit down and maybe even have a cry. You know, you got to have it out and get it all out and then see where you can go forward at. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we be so scared to face our opponent or our counterpart or our friend or our children, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. But then it's eating you up inside. You know what I'm saying? You saying it ain't worth it, but it's killing you. So it is worth it. If it's causing you internal damage, it's worth you getting out there and discussing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my message from you with God today is don't, and not just God, but the people in your life and everything. But don't look to God and measure him about what you want versus what you need. I believe when you look around you and you see what you need, you will see the hand of God in your life and you will have that confidence, that better relationship with God, that stronger relationship, a greater faith, a greater trust with God, because you'll see the things that you need, God is there. He's present. The things that you want, it's just what you want. It's just what you want. You know what I'm saying? You want better, but you got to work. You got to work towards that better. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you working towards, God going to help you. You can't just sit there and be like, I wish I hit the Mega Millions. God, I pray you let me hit the Mega Millions. Okay, that's a want. You asking for it, but yet, however, God may be like, that's not your place. That's not what I need you to be doing. That's not what I need you to have. Like, he might know money might ruin you. You know what I'm saying? We sit back and talk about that all the time, whereas, like, some people, you can't put money in their hands. They'll kill themselves with pleasure. They will kill themselves. So you keep money away from them just because that's safer for them. Some people can't deal with it. So sometimes I'm just saying we might be asking for things we can't handle. And then we inappropriately, misjudge God or condemn God for not giving us the things we want and ignoring the fact that he's governing and taking care of the things that we need. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, man. Like, hey, like I say, I'm working through things just like y'all working through things. I got on here to show you that, I'm still here with y'all. I go through things just like y'all go through things. If my spirit don't move me to be on here and share something with you, I won't. You know what I'm saying? And if it do, then I'm gonna get on here and show you like, hey, I'm gonna tell you whatever I can learn, whatever come to me, I'm gonna bring it to you. If you find me absent for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's because I'm struggling with a message. I'm trying to find out what the message is. I'm working with something, and I'm bringing you something. And this ain't the message. He just got on here now to let your people know you still here, you still love them, you still in teaching, you still believe in the spiritual advisor movement. The link up is still strong, it's still moving. Like I say, just because I ain't on film, don't mean that the link up ain't working. We work harder off this camera than we do on the camera. I don't have all the luxury and time to just get on the camera and sit still for 30, 40 minutes, an hour, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I be having to deal with real life issues that's going on with the link up and family members of the link up right here, right now. And sometimes it's demanding, it's overwhelming, it's emotional. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we gotta hurt together. Sometimes we lose loved ones, and I just gotta be there. So we strong as the link up. So don't mistake our absence. We gonna get back on here. That's why I be trying to encourage some of the other members, like, don't put it all on my back, because, when my life get hectic and I can't really be here, that don't mean that you can't get on here and give the people, a word from God, this, that, and other. I'm not the only minister or spiritual advisor in our camp. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of other ones that are well capable of delivering the word of God. And I keep encouraging them to, get on here. But some people just camera shy. Some people scared to make a mistake. A lot of them really don't want to say nothing that could lead y'all astray. And I understand that too. Like I tell them, you got to give a greater trust to God. That when you get on there, God gonna guide you. God gonna see you through, and God gonna use your mouth to speak what He wants spoken. Sometimes people need to hear things that's not pleasant. Sometimes people need to be shook up. Sometimes you need to be harsh with people. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always a humble tongue, a soft-spoken voice, or this, that, and the other that's going to reach the people. Sometimes you need that voice to come up here and just grab you and be like, hey, what is you doing? Tighten up. Let's get this together. We got work to do. You might need that aggression. You might need that force of life. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love the fact of our camp. But when they get there, we working on it. I'm encouraging them. And I'm teaching them that, you valuable. You know what I'm saying? No matter how highly you look up to me, it's somebody that's going to look up to you highly too, because you got a word to say. You got a testimony. And we all do. You know what I'm saying? And the more we share with each other, to me, the more stronger we become. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to be articulate. I don't need you to be a powerful speaker. I just need you to be honest and be real with the people. And that's why I encourage y'all that if there's things going on in your life that you find heavy and can't handle, leave the comments. Contact us and let us know what you want to talk about. If it's a scripture that, you ain't properly understanding, ask us what's our portion of understanding. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about this? What did God tell you about this particular scripture? Because I ain't really got the stronghold on it. I'm trying to learn. If you're going through personal problems with your children, your parenting problems, spouse problems, friendship problems, love problems, it really don't matter, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on in your life is going on in our life. Like I say, leave a comment, tell us something that you want us to talk about, something, or share something with us. Share your experience in your comments. You know what I'm saying? Where you at, how you arrived to your faith, or what you working on to restore your faith, how you maintain it, how you holding on. Like this is Each One Teach One program for real. Don't just rely on me. That's all I'm saying. These comments and this channel, our YouTube channel run regardless of whether I'm on here or not. Y'all can leave comments for one another. Even if it's comments like, obviously the spiritual advisor might be occupied. We ain't seen him in 2 weeks of this, that, and other. But I just want to say, godly rise to everybody, godly blessings, praying that everybody hold it fast. Pray that the spiritual advisor, whatever he going through, you come out for the good and we get to see you soon, this, that, and other. You got to start spreading love. You got to, if we want to grow like if you want to grow like I want us to grow, it ain't going to take, it can't be on just me. We all got to participate. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage y'all to keep subscribing, commenting, sharing this, putting it out there. Because like I said, at the end of the day, man, I'm just your brother. I'm a real man. I'm a real brother. I'm a real uncle. I'm a real father. I'm a real son. Everything that you go through in life, I ain't been through it. Either I'm going through it, or if I ain't been through it, then share that experience so I can be prepared for it and anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Let's help each other stay afloat. Let's help each other stay strong. Let's help each other keep getting through whatever it is we getting through. You know what I'm saying? All we got is one another. You know what I'm saying? That's all we got. We not asking for nothing but your time. You know what I'm saying? Your investment in becoming a better person. Your investment in seeing the God within yourself. That's all we want you to do is become better people, because when you become better people, we create a better earth. When we create a better earth, we create a better atmosphere for one another. You know what I'm saying? We can start doing things more safely. We can feel safer about our children, moving about, this, that, and other. We can reduce murder. We can reduce theft. We can reduce the crimes of the world by you making a decision. Every day you get up, you make a choice. I'm asking you to encourage you to every day to get up and choose God. Choose the ways of God. Choose the path of God. Choose the walk of God. Just choose God. Kindness, love, respect, courtesy, accountability, responsibility. I ain't asking for nothing else, man. I'm just on here to let you know, man, I still got love for you. This your boy, Mark McCline, the spiritual advisor. I encourage you to subscribe, comment, share our channel, man. Stay with us. No matter how it look to you, man, I ain't on here for nothing but your betterment. You know what I'm saying? Your growth and my growth is all that I care about. If I can say something to help you out and help you get through the day, so be it. And that's why I encourage y'all comments, because y'all comments help me out and help me get through the day too. I need to be lifted up sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that godly that I don't need my brothers and sisters. I need y'all to encourage me just like I'm trying to encourage y'all. So let's love one another. You know what I'm saying? Don't just put it all on my back. You got to put in some work to it, you know. If it's just a thank you, you know, every word, every comment, it gives me strength. It gives me courage. It gives me purpose to continue to do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't have me reaching out to try to help you and you not reaching back to respect the help that's being given. You know what I'm saying? Let's start it. Let's make this fair exchange, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how you build the relationships, man. Again, this your boy, the spiritual advisor, Mark McCline, man. Share, comment, you know, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Encourage other people to subscribe. I'm just a real brother, man. Come to show you what I can show you. That's it. All I got is our best interest. You feel me? All right. I see y'all when I see y'all, but I'll see y'all soon. Sign out.